వర్షన్స్‌ని కంట్రోల్ చేస్తూ మనం అన్నీ దీనిలోకి చెక్ ఇన్ ఎవ్రీడే మన ఏదైతే రాసామో కోడ్ 50 డెవలపర్స్ ఉంటే 50 డెవలపర్స్ ఆ కోడ్‌ని చెక్ ఇన్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. చెక్ ఇన్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇందులో ఏమవుతుందంటే మనకెప్పుడు ఏ కోడ్ కావాలన్నా కూడా ఈజీగా చెక్‌ఔట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అక్కడి నుంచి డౌన్‌లోడ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఈజీగా.
Yeah.
అండ్ ఇంకో ఆప్షన్ ఏముంటుందంటే నంబర్ ఆఫ్ డెవలపర్స్ దాని మీద వర్క్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఎవ్రీడే ఈవినింగ్‌కి వాళ్ళంతా దానిలో చెక్ ఇన్ కొట్టేస్తుంటారు. వాళ్ళ డే డేటా కోడ్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అది. నెక్స్ట్ డే మార్నింగ్ రాగానే అందరూ అప్‌డేటెడ్ కోడ్‌ని చెక్‌ఔట్ చేసుకొని మళ్ళీ దాని మీద వర్కౌట్ చేస్తుంటారు.
Yeah.
సో దట్ వుడ్ బి ఈజీ రాదర్ దాన్ డూయింగ్ ఓన్‌గా చేసేదానికన్నా గూడా.
Mm.
గిట్ సర్వర్ దేనికో వి కెన్ సే ఇట్ యాస్ ఇన్ ద నార్మల్‌గా మనం ఒక ఫోల్డర్‌లో ఒక డైరెక్టరీ ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేస్తామో ఇక్కడ గిట్‌లో ఒక రిపాజిటరీస్ అంటాం ఇక్కడ. సో, ఆ డెవలపర్‌కి ఒక మనం సెపరేట్ రిపాజిటరీ ఇస్తాం. వాళ్ళందరూ అదే రిపాజిటరీ యూజ్ చేసుకొని కోడ్‌ని చెక్ ఇన్ చేస్తుంటారు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ డెవలపర్‌కైతే ఒకటి, డెవాప్స్ ఇంజినీర్స్ వీళ్ళ టీమ్‌కి ఇంకొకటి. యాస్ ఎ డెవాప్స్ ఇంజినీర్ మన రోల్ ఏమంటే ఇక్కడ ఒక రిపాజిటరీస్ క్రియేట్ చేసి వాళ్ళకి ఎవరికి ఏ పర్మిషన్స్ ఇవ్వాలో చూసి ఆ పర్మిషన్స్ మనం వాళ్ళకి యాక్సెస్ ఇవ్వాలి. ఇప్పుడు డెవలపర్స్ ఉన్నారు. ఆ రిపాజిటరీకి ఓన్లీ డెవలపర్స్‌కి నీడ్ ఉంటుంది. సో, ఎవరెవరికి దేనికి పర్మిషన్ ఇవ్వాలో చూసుకొని యాస్ ఎ డెవాప్స్ ఇంజినీర్స్ మనం చూసుకుంటాం అది. విల్ టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్‌స్టాలింగ్ గిట్ సర్వర్స్ అండ్ ఆల్ అండ్ వి యూజ్ ఇట్ టు విల్ టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ క్రియేటింగ్ రిపాజిటరీస్ ఆల్సో.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
యాహ్! హియర్ ఇంకొకటేమంటే సోర్స్ ఫైల్స్ లైక్ కంపైల్డ్ కోడ్ అండ్ జావా ఫైల్స్ అన్నీ ఒక దానిలో ఒక రిపాజిటరీ ఇస్తాము. అండ్ అట్లాగే కంపైల్ చేసిన తర్వాత వచ్చే కోడ్‌ని మనం ఎవరైతే క్లయింట్ ఉంటారో వాళ్ళకిస్తాం. డైరెక్ట్‌గా ఈ ఉన్న జావా ఫైల్స్ ఇవ్వము. బికాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్ దే కెన్ అండర్‌స్టాండ్. దే కెన్ రీయూజ్ ఇట్. సో, దట్స్ వై మనం కంపైల్డ్ కోడ్ అని ఏదైతే ఉంటదో ఆ కంపైల్డ్ కోడ్‌ని వార్ ఫైల్ చేసి వాళ్ళకిస్తాం క్లయింట్‌కి.
Correct.
సో, దే
Okay.
కెన్ యూజ్ ఇట్.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone got it. Yeah. So Git is a version control tool. Git is primarily used by developers, all the developers, not only Java developers. Wherever some development is happening, either in testing or DevOps or the right or core application development, wherever any development is happening, the developed code usually in real time we store in Git server, Git repositories. All right. Yeah. So in Git, now onwards, after DevOps team will going to own Git servers. The DevOps team set up Git server. They are the people who set up this Git instances, and they are the admins for Git server. For every project, not for every developer, for every project, we create a separate repository. There are multiple projects happening in every IT company. So for every software project, separately we create one repository, and all the developers belongs to that project should check in their code in the respective repositories. All right. In the code they check in, code they check in, usually called as a source code. So referring to this diagram, okay, the code, whatever they check in, usually called as a source code. Where is that diagram? Yeah. Okay. And yeah, version control tool you understood. I mean, every day, because as the developer keep on modifying the code, we don't know how many files he will modify. So he keeps on modifying and during the course of a project. So at any point of time, the idea is at any point of time, if he wants to go back to any previous version of the code, easily you should be able to go back without any confusion. For that, every time they modify code, someone has to create a different version of the file and they have to maintain these versions. So now Git will do that, right? Git will maintain or create a separate version for every modification developer does, and it keeps track of all the versions. In future, let's say developer, if you ask any previous version of the code, Git is there now easily. It can easily give any previous version of the code asked by developer. So the process, the mechanism, right? So whatever there in Git, it is very easy. It is very easy to maintain and provide any previous version. So after source code, we tried understanding the project, what we are going to do, right? So this is the entire flow of CI/CD. Why it left hand side is called as a CI, continuous integration. Understood? Right hand side part we call it as a continuous deployment. As a DevOps engineer, as a DevOps engineering team, we are here to automate this entire flow, CI/CD flow. So after we learn bits and pieces, Ansible, Git, Jenkins, different tools, then we will be in a position to automate this entire flow. So for that, we started understanding from now itself, what is our project? So this is the flow of your project, which we need to automate end of the course. So piece by piece, we are completing. So left hand side, if you see, all the developers will keep on checking. Left hand side, we have a Git. So once the source code is here, it means after end of 2 years, let's say project is completed. Then corresponding to 5,000 source code files, next step of what we have to do, someone has to compile this code. Thereby we get 5,000 dot class files. If it is a Java project, then all the dot class files are byte code. No one will understand that. Even to the customer or anybody, any other teams like testing team or DevOps team, developers will give only the dot class files. They will not give the source code. You understood? To anybody after development, to anybody, if at all we want to give project, right, or we want to sell project, we'll be giving only dot class files, which dot class files are byte code, masked code. So right, no one will understand this code. So once we generate 5,000 dot class files after compilation, it's not a good idea to directly give these 5,000 files to any customer. Instead of that, it's a good idea to package like a zip, right? Compressor and create one zip format. Just like how we create zip file for our regular photos or videos. Similarly, there are a bunch of files, too many files, 5,000 files. So we have to compress these files and make it as one file. Finally, that file we have to deliver to the customer. So for compression, Java is having its own format. There are 3 formats: .var file, .ear file, .jar file. So in any one of these formats, we can compress. But most of the times, 90% of the times, all the web applications, we do create a .var file. .var file is the compressed version of Java, just like your jar file, just like your zip file. So once all the .class files are compressed and right, as a result, we get only one single file, abc.var file, right? So inside abc.var file, what will be there? 5,000 .class files will be encapsulated. You understood? It's a single file, which is a compressed file, which includes all the 5,000 compiled files. Then finally, abc.var or project.var file is the one which we deliver to anyone else. Yeah. So as a DevOps team, now we will get now who will create source from now onwards? Earlier developers used to do that, or some deployments used to create these var files. There will be separately some deployment teams. So they used to take care of this compilation and creation of var file, etc. Right? But now it's the responsibility of DevOps team. It's our responsibility to take the source code, compile it, create a class files. In between, there will be unit testing. So we will execute those unit test cases, and we compress and create var file, and take this var file, deploy into n number of environments. Now it's entire these tasks, right? Whose responsibility? DevOps team. Who will going to do? DevOps team will going to do this entire process. Earlier, some other deployment teams used to take care. Now, compiling, creation of class files, creation of var files, in between executing if any test cases, unit test cases, take this var file, automatically deploy into n number of environments. Just within one, this entire process should happen within 1 hour, right? So for that, we are the people who will we create, see, manually doing all these things, it takes 2 days. But we are here to create end-to-end automation. Once DevOps team creates end-to-end automation, it's a matter of just execute the automation. This entire flow will execute and it will be created. And a WAR file also will get deployed on any number of environments. Within 1 hour, everything will happen. That's why CI/CD flow. Why it is called as CI, continuous integration? Developers every day, they're continuously writing the code, checking the code, writing the code, checking the code. So hence it is known as a continuous integration. The code is being integrated in Git every day, every moment, right? Immediately after they complete the code, they are checking in. Hence, it is a continuous integration process. Every day it happens. Whenever there is a new code, take that code. So, sir, how frequently we create WAR files and deploy onto n number of environments? Maybe every day, or in a day 2 times, right? Or any number of times we can do, because there is automation in place, right? It's a matter of execute the automation, build will be so creating this WAR file, it is having another name, build, creation of build, generate the build, build means generate the WAR file. So we can generate builds any number of times, but usually in a day 1 build will be generated. If required, we can generate 2 builds as well. So every day, whatever the code yesterday, it's been merged here. The code will be taken, compiled, 1 build will be generated, deployed. And next day, again, previous day code, again it will be compiled, build will be generated and deployed. So every day it happens. Deployment. Don't think that deployment onto n number of servers will happen weekly once or monthly once. That is the old story. Now, after DevOps in place, every day, the moment, whatever the code checked in by developers, every day, right? So previous day code, but let's say midnight, automatically our automations will execute. Whatever the code checked in after 6 p.m., all the code at midnight, automatically DevOps automation will execute. It will take the code, compiles it, and also deploys in a number of environments. Next day morning, when all the testing teams, they comes to office, their environments will be ready with the new build. They will start testing. Again next day, same thing. So it's an automation process. Once established, done, automatically it happens. Everyday build will be deployed automatically onto all these environments. Then everyday testing teams, when they comes to the office, they open the systems, their environments will be ready with a new build, a new piece of code, new code. So they will start testing. That's how it happens. It happens parallelly. Development, testing, it happens parallelly now. That's why agile methodology projects are very fast. To make these agile projects much more faster, who is helping? DevOps team is helping. Without a DevOps team, earlier, maybe weekly once. So let's say every 1 week code we used to deploy, or it takes 1 or 2 weeks. To generate 1 build, it is to take 2 weeks. So DevOps లేకముందు ఒక బిల్డ్ జనరేట్ చేయాలంటే 2 weeks పట్టేది. 2 weeks తర్వాత కానీ టెస్టింగ్ టీం వాళ్ళు పిక్చర్లోకి వచ్చేవాళ్ళు, వాళ్ళు టెస్ట్ చేసేవాళ్ళు. అగైన్ ఆఫ్టర్ 2 weeks అనదర్ బిల్డ్. సో ఆ విధంగా టెస్టింగ్ అనేది చాలా స్లో అయ్యేది. వీళ్ళు డెవలప్ చేయడం 2 weeks వరకు వీళ్ళు ఇన్వాల్వ్ అవ్వడం, ఈ విధంగా డ్రాగ్ అయ్యేది. ఇప్పుడు ఎవ్రీ డే వాళ్ళ కోడ్ చెకింగ్ చేస్తారు, బిల్డ్ జనరేట్ అవుతుంది, వాళ్ళ టెస్టింగ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్స్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోద్ది. దే విల్ స్టార్ట్ టెస్టింగ్. సో దట్స్ హౌ ద ఫాస్ట్ స్పీడ్ ఇంక్రీజ్డ్. Who is the cause for this? Who is the reason behind this? DevOps team. Without a DevOps team and DevOps tools, not DevOps team, DevOps tools. Without DevOps tools in place, it's very difficult to achieve this speed. Now you understand. I think this is another situation where you need to understand the relation between, or the link between your agile methodology and DevOps. Agile methodology is a theory. Theoretically, how to deliver the projects more quickly with more quality. Agile is a just theory. To implement that theory practically, right? So we have to take help of DevOps tools. Without DevOps tools, even though agile theory is there, no, we cannot achieve the speed and quality. You understood? Yep.
Yes, sir.
అజైల్ అనేది థియరీ అండి. ఈ అజైల్ మెథడాలజీని ఆ థియరిటికల్గా ఏదైతే ఉందో దాన్ని ప్రాక్టికల్గా దాన్ని ప్రూవ్ చేసి దాన్ని డ్రైవ్ చేసి నడిపించడానికి ఉన్నవే ఈ డెవాప్స్ టూల్స్. అజైల్ థియరీ ఉన్నప్పటికీ వాటిని ఆ స్పీడ్లో ఆ క్వాలిటీతో రైట్. సో బయటికి ఎవ్రీ వీక్ ఎవ్రీ స్ప్రింట్ ఒక డెలివరబుల్ బయటికి వెళ్ళాలంటే వితౌట్ డెవాప్స్ టూల్స్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్. Without DevOps tools not possible because someone has to, as we are automating entire process. So midnight 12 o'clock, right, every day ఈ కోడ్ తీసుకొని వారి ఫైల్ క్రియేట్ చేసి డిప్లాయ్మెంట్ ఇవన్నీ జరిగిపోతాయి ఆటోమేటిక్. ఇవన్నీ ఎవరు చేస్తారని అంటే డెవాప్స్ టీమ్. డెవాప్స్ టూల్స్ I hope you understood. Yeah. So as part of that, let's complete Git. We already completed Ansible. Let's complete Git. Then we'll complete Jenkins. Then we'll be in a position at least to try automation for this. Yeah. Because the entire CI/CD flow automation is not with one tool. We will use all the multiple DevOps tools. Then only it is possible to automate entire CI/CD. For that, we need to learn separately all the tools here. So now come back to Git. Git is a version control tool, and we understood. Let's first try to learn practically how to set up this Git server. Once we set up this Git server, how developers, because we also, why a DevOps engineer has to learn, because we also going to put our automations here. That's why as a developer, you need to know how to check in, check out, how to deal with Git server. And also we are the people who has to set up this server. So there are a couple of reasons why we have to learn Git. Okay. So let's see now. I copied all the previous theory. Yeah. I hope I have done. Okay, let's start installing. So put the heading how to install and set up Git. Okay. How to install and set up Git. Installation, once your prerequisites, already told you, once your prerequisite setup is successful, if it's done successfully, then installation of any DevOps tool it's a matter of just executing a couple of commands. That's it. So we installed Ansible, minstall. What is the command to install? Minstall Ansible package. To install anything in Unix, we only need to execute minstall command. Similarly here also, right? So to install once your prerequisite setup, just to say minstall Git. This will, let me copy this. Take your mission, just to say only one command, simple to install. Just to say Git or hypervisor. That's it. This command will install. If you are in front of your servers, you also can try now. Okay. Only one command. Just say Git. Just execute this command. This command will install Git for you. It won't take more than 5 minutes. Git will get installed. Once your Git is installed, let's say in my server already my Git is installed. Then as a test 456 user, switch to test 456 user. So in your home directory of test 456, right? Just create one directory for your batch. Let's do that. Okay. So let's say su hyphen test 456. I'm switching. So this is my home directory of test 456. I say ls. I have so many folders and files. My Git is installed. Git server is installed. What is the command to install? Just install Git. That's it. Git will install. What immediately after we install Git, how to check whether Git is installed or not? Just say Git. After installation of Ansible, how to check whether Ansible is installed or not? You just say Ansible. These type of commands will come. Some options రావాలి అంటే Ansible install అయినట్లు. Similarly, once you install your Git, once you install your Git server, just say Git. That's it. Then some options has to be displayed. If these options, this kind of options displayed, it means your Git got installed successfully. If not installed successfully, you won't get any options. So simple. Yeah. Okay. All right. So next come back. As my Git is already installed. Now we have to set up. Let's try to set up one repository. Assume that there is a project. There is a project. Or there is some automation going on. Either a DevOps team or some ABC project. Some kind of project. So మనం ఏం చేయాలి? Once your server is set up, once installation, you install Git server, it means your server is ready. Git server is ready. As a DevOps team, now we have to create a repositories for multiple projects. So let's try to create one repository for one project. Okay. So for that, say mkdir. So let us try to create one repository for, let's say November batch. I'll give naming. Real time lo naming convention ఎలా ఉండదు. Project పైన ఉంటుంది. Let's say ABC project. So they will create one repository with ABC. If the project name is Gmail, they will create one repository with Gmail. A project name ఏదైతే ఉందో దాని with that name usually we create repositories. So let's say here, let me create one repository with your batch name. Okay. November 2023. Let's say project 1. Shall we give name like this? Yeah. Project 1. Okay. So let's say project 1 belongs to this particular team. Let's say this is the project. This is the project. Hence, I'm creating one repository for this project, project 1. First, we have to create one directory with that repository. All right. So I have got one project. What I have done now? Let me copy these comments for you. Next, what you have to do? Go here. Next, immediately you have to create one directory. Right? This is the directory I have created. All right. So ఏం చేసిన ఒకసారి చెప్పండి. Once I install a Git install చేసిన తర్వాత switch as a test 456 user. Come here. Come to home directory of your test 456. Immediately create one directory. Using mkdir command, I have created one directory. What is the directory name? It's a normal directory. Whatever directory I created with mkdir, it is a normal directory. It is not a Git repository yet. It is a normal directory I created. As I created just with the Unix command mkdir, it is now, as of now, we have to call this as a normal directory, but we should not call it as a repository. Next, we will see how to convert this normal directory as a Git repository. The command, right? Now go inside this directory to do that. We just created a normal directory. Remember that. So as of now, it is only a normal directory, but we should not call it as a Git repository. Now let's try to convert this normal directory into a Git repository. Of course, a repository is a directory only, but now we shouldn't call. There is another step. Once we do that step, then only normal directory will become as a Git repository. So to convert the normal directory as a repository, go to this directory first. Go to the normal directory, whatever we created. I am here now. Then say ls, I don't have anything. Now you say git space ---- init. You understood? Yeah. What you have to say? Git space. Once you create this normal directory, go to the directory and say, right? Sorry, git init. Just say git space init. The moment we execute, we have to execute this command being inside our normal, and whatever directory we created for the project, first you have to go inside that project. Being inside this project only, we have to execute this command. So once we execute this command, what will happen? I will show you. So let's say before this, I will say ls-l. Let's try to display all the files and folders along with hidden. So when I say ls-la, it displays all the hidden files and folders as well. You know that, okay? Yeah. ls-la command. A means all. I'm saying display all the files and folders, including hidden files. So we know that hidden files and folders starts with what? Dot and dot dot. With -a option, we are displaying all the files and folders, including hidden files. So we know that if we say -a, then there will be some hidden files and folders, which usually hidden files and folders starts with a dot and a dot dot. We know that. So I want to display everything as of now. If any .ssh is also a hidden folder. Unless you give -a, it will we can't see that folder. Hidden files folders actually dot dot తో స్టార్ట్ అవుతాయి. ఇటువంటి మనం చూడాలి అంటే కంపల్సరీగా -a ఆప్షన్ యూజ్ చేయాలి. యు నో దట్. అవునా? సో యాజ్ ఆఫ్ నౌ ఐ హావ్ అంటే ఒక డిఫాల్ట్ గా డాట్ 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 ఉన్నాయి. డాట్ అండ్ డాట్ డాట్. దట్స్ ఇట్. ఐ డోంట్ హావ్ ఎనీ hidden files and folders. But the moment we execute git init, right? One hidden folder will get created. We're going to see that. Okay. Just say git. Why we are executing git init command? I want to convert, make this normal directory as a git repository. For that, we need to execute git space init. Let's see that. Now you say ls-la dot git వచ్చిందా లేదా? It means whatever the normal folder after execution of a git init, if normal folder contains a .git folder, then only we can call this as a git repository. Then only it will act as a git repository. If normal directory doesn't contain any .git, no, it cannot be a git repository. And this .git will get created only after execution of this command. You understood? Yep. So it means execute this command to make the directory as a git repository. Then say ls. You see? .git hidden directory got created because of this command. So now whatever the normal directory, before I execute this, when I say ls-la, nothing is there here. Nothing is there. .git is not there. Sorry. .git is not there. After executing this, I have .git. Then it became a git repository. Then you can start working. Now any development teams belongs to this project. They can start working here. This is the repository now for the developers belongs to this project to check out their code. Similarly, if there is another, let's say another project, for another project, again we have to create another directory, make the directory as a git repository, then give the permission and access to the developers belongs to that project. If at all we want to manage 10 different projects, then for all the 10 different projects, we have to create 10 different directories first. Go inside each directory, execute this command. Convert all those normal directories as a git repositories. Once they become git repositories, then only developers can check in and check out their code. You understood this till here? Yep. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let's start working. So Git repository. Now I am in Git repository. I have created one repository, .git. Let's say I am a developer. Assume that I am a Java developer. So I started working. This is my first day. Project just started, kick-started. So I have to work. First day I came to office. Then I created one file. I'm going to create one file. F1 dot some F1. Or you can give Java means. So what this guy is created. So I just say. So it can be Java, or simply I'm giving as, let's say, F1. First day I created one file. Java means F1.java, Python means F1.py. If it is Ansible development, then F1.playbook, F1.aml file. Okay. I don't want to give extension because I don't want to give extension. I'm just creating one file just to show you, right? So let's say first day you assume that I am the developer. I came to office. Today, my project kick started. As part of development, I'm creating one file. So say VI F1, open this file. And here, first day, I'm going to write some lines of code. So let's say this is my first line. All right. So let's say first day. And to make you guys understand simple, I'm not actually writing code, but if I'm a Java developer, I have to write a lot of Java code. Assume that first day developer has written some lines of code. Let's say this is the line I have written. Then I save it and exit. It means first day I worked on one file. I have written some lines of. You assume that whatever line is there, that is a code. Okay. So I created one file inside which I have written some lines of code. Done. Right. So immediately after you create any files, then you can say git status. There are a set of git commands which we need to execute every day. In Git we won't be writing any coding or any DSL statements like Ansible. Git is very easy. Only you should know how to check in, check out the code. There will be some set of commands. That's it. So I created one file. Okay. Then at any point of time, if you say git status, it will show you the status case. Let me copy this and explain. As a developer, there is a repository created by Devops team, and I am the developer. They have given access to me. Then I can start working on this repository. As a developer, first day I created one file. I have written some lines of code. I saved it and exited. All right. So this is my file. Next, there is a git status command to check the status of your Git at any point of time. I want to know what is the status of my Git server, my Git repository. Not server. Actually, if I want to check status of my repository, this is my repository. This is my project folder. This is my project repository in Git. So as a developer, at any point of time, if we want to check what is the status of my project repository in Git, this is the command. Simply say git status. It displayed some information. Let's try to understand. If you look at this information, it is saying on branch master boss, there is a branching concept in Git. We will understand later. There will be different branches we can create in Git. So it is saying as of now, boss, you are in which branch? I am in master branch. There will be master branch and child branches. There will be master branch and child branches. As of now, it is saying, boss, currently you are on master branch. So whatever code I'm checking, whatever files I'm creating will be there in master branch. And it is saying initial commit is required. Untracked files. You see here, it is saying, boss, there are some files in this repository. I see that there are some files, but these files are not tracked. I see there are some untracked files. It is giving suggestions for us. Whenever you say git status, it is showing this is the status of your Git repository now. I think someone has created one file, but this file is not being tracked. In order to track what it is saying, it is also giving some help here. It's like some kind of help. It is also saying what we supposed to do. You please execute this command git add. మనం కష్టపడకుండా అదే చెప్తుంది ఇక్కడ. బస్ ఈ కమాండ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయండి. ఈ కమాండ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయడం వల్ల ఏం జరుగుతుంది? This file can be tracked. As of now, there is a file which I see, but it is untracked. Immediately you do git add. Then I can track this file. This is the meaning. You understood? Yep. Yes. So now what we say is, what is meant by tracking? Why Git has to track? And to do tracking, what we have to do? What we have to do? You understood? For example, try to understand the concept. I have created file 1 file. Today I have created file 1. As a developer, tomorrow I will create another 2 files. Day after tomorrow, I will create another 4 files. Likewise, in a span of 1 month, I would have created some 200 files. So as part of my development, I keep on creating some files. I start writing coding. Ala munduku veltu untanu. But whenever we create files, don't leave it like that. Don't leave it like that. We have to tell to Git. Unless you tell to Git, it will not track our files. What is the functionality of Git? All the files we create and start working, whenever we make some modifications, Git has to track our files. Git has to track our files, and remember, in future, whatever version I ask, it should be able to give. It should be able to give. To make that happen, I have to tell to Git explicitly. Unless I tell, it won't do. To make this happen, I have to tell to Git, hey Git, today I have created one file. Tomorrow, let's say tomorrow I created some other files. So whenever we create files, we have to tell to Git explicitly, Git, I created some file. You please track my files. Tracking means, please create versions, remember these files. In future, I might ask. So whenever I ask, you have to give whatever version. How many versions are there for these files? Whatever version I ask, you have to give. For that, first Git has to track. To track, we have to tell to Git. Unless we tell, it won't do. We have to tell, hey Git, I created file, please track it. These are my files, please track it. So to tell Git to track our files, we have to execute another command. Let's say git add. What is the command? Git add F1. Unless we execute this command, it will not track. That's why it is saying, boss, as of now, I'm not tracking. There is a file, I'm not tracking. To track, please execute this command. So that's what you have to say, git add F1. Just say, see. Now we execute the command git status. Let us try to understand the output. Now what is saying? Git add is the command. Swati, are you there? Not there. Oh. So git add and git status. Now you see any change in the output? There is a change. The moment I say git add, I'm saying we have to add our files to Git. Already files are there here, but using command, once again, we have to tell to Git to track my files. And how, right? So how to tell to Git? Execute this command. Simply execute this command, git add and file name, git add file name. Whenever you create, then only Git will track your files. Then next, immediately check a Git status. See here, now of course, I'm on still master branch, but it is saying initial commit. It is saying now, it is not saying untracked files, because it started tracking my files. It started tracking my files, but it is saying, boss, it is not committed. Of course, we will do that.
సార్
Yeah.
ఒకసారి ఫైల్ క్రియేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత దెన్ గిట్ యాడ్ చేస్తామా?
Yes.
లేదంటే గిట్ యాడ్ F1 అంటే ఫైల్ క్రియేట్ అవ్వదు కదా?
No. Once we create,
Okay.
what we have done now, we created file.
ఓకే. ఒక ఫైల్ క్రియేట్ చేసి అందులో ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ రాసి దెన్ యాడ్ చేస్తాం.
Yeah.
ఓకే.
After we create files, we have to tell to get, this is the right. Once after
Okay.
creation, we have to execute this command. Yes, very good.
Oh.
So let's say next day I came to office, done. First day, I have created one file. I also told to Git, please track my files. It started tracking. Tomorrow again, I came to office. I created another file. Let's say next day, day two, I came to office. Then I opened already. I created, let's say, second file, another file. Then I have written, as usual, I will write some lines of code here. This is line 1 in, let's say, file 2, right? And let's say I will write another line 1 in file 2. I have created another file. I have written one line here. And always, it's not like when I say ls, I have 2 files. So every day, I might be creating some new files. At the same time, I might go and modify some of the old files, right? So I want to modify some yesterday file as well. So yesterday I have got some other logic. I have thought about some additional logic. So I want to introduce some new lines in F1. So today I will open F1 again. Then I started implementing some more lines. So what I will say, this is, let's say this is the line I entered second. This is my line 2 in F1. So second day, assume that I have entered some more lines. Save it and exit. So what I did second day? Second day, I created entirely new file. I modified existing old file. I have 2 files. Then let us check git status. So it is saying, yes, sir. It is saying, you are on master branch. I have one new file, F1, which is a tracked, but there is another file I see, F2, which is untracked. You see, we added only F1 using git add command, but not F2. Now I have to say git add F2 as well. Then check the status. You see, now both the files. I have 2 files, F1, F2. So both are started tracking. Both files started tracking. All right. So this is how you have to do. And another way is, let's say, now total I have 2 files. I created whenever you create one file, you write some lines of code, immediately add it. Unless you add, Git will not track. Next, what I have to do is, usually in real time, each developer will start creating many files like this. Every day, they might be creating some files. In a span of 1 or 2 months, they'll be creating multiple files. They will check in all their files in Git server. Good. But accidentally, as all the developers, let's say there are 20 developers working on this project. All the 20 developers, they do the same thing. In their from their respective laptops, every day they will work, they will check in code here. They will work, they will check in. So what will happen? There might be, as multiple developers are working on the same repository, there might be chance of, right, deleting some files. One developer unknowingly might delete some other developer's files. Or some files might be corrupted. Not wantedly, accidentally, by mistake. Let's say wantedly or unwantedly, other developers, there is a chance of other developers actually touching another developer files. They might be deleting or updating. Something might happen. But in that case, as a Git admin, DevOps engineer is now Git admin. He is the admin for this Git server. If whatever happens, good or bad, admin should be able to know or track what happened in the server. Who has done what? Every day, let 20 developers use the Git server, but 20 developers, what they are doing, a Git admin should know. If something deleted, something, right, happened bad. So we should be able to track and catch that guy who is the developer actually deleted these files. It means tracking is required for admin. Who has done what? Otherwise, when bunch of developers are working on the same repository, there is a chance of anything might happen. So to track this information at Git server level, what every developer, Git is saying, every developer, whenever you start working on my Git repository, you please provide your information. That's what Git is saying. Hence, every developer, before you actually create and start working, this is the first command you have to execute. Every developer has to provide his personal, some information about him to the Git server, so that Git server will remember all the developers. Whenever each developer makes any changes, if something happens, it can tell so and so developer has done this change. So for that, it is a responsibility of every developer. First, you provide your information to the Git. How to provide developers information to the Git? Just say git config. Git. Okay. So git hyphen config. I'll give you the exact command. Execute this command. Okay. So just say git config. See, git config hyphen global user dot name. Yeah. I'll just copy these commands for you. These are the two commands we have to, every developer has to execute. What are the two commands? Git config hyphen global user dot name. Git config hyphen global user dot email. At least we have to provide a username of the developer who is working and what is his email. Name and email, at least every developer has to provide before they start working on Git repository. So simple. You understood? As of now, try to give some dummy email. If you are working in office, you have to provide your official email ID. But at least these two information we need, every developer has to provide to Git. How to provide? Just say git config. Git config is the command. And say git config. You remember this. And it's a one-time activity. You no need to execute this command every time. Only once you execute this command, Git will remember you. Then you work over any number of times from anywhere. Git knows that who is working on this particular repository. This is a one-time activity. Please try to execute these commands. Every developer has to execute these two commands. We have to provide is a username and email ID. You understood this? Yeah. Shall we try to execute? Yeah. So I will say, let's say my name is, I'll say, yeah, test 456. Yeah. I logged in as a test 456. So I'll say test 456 is my name. Right. And I will say git config hyphen global. Let's say user dot email. Let's say my email ID is test 456 @localhost. You understood? Yeah. User dot
Yes, sir.
email test 456. That's it. Use some dummy ID. As of now, you can use some dummy ID. Just say this is and a user that will log in here. This is a user. So username and some dummy email ID. If it is a company, you have to give official email. That's it. So we have executed. Assume that we have executed this. Now onwards, Git remember. This is required. This is required. Otherwise, Git cannot track. Git cannot track who is doing what. Clear? Okay. Next,
Yes,
let's
sir.
say at any point of time, we can execute another command, say git log. Git status we executed, and another command is git log. So as of now, it is saying, so there is no revision for head, something it is saying, showing because we haven't done anything. I say ls, there are two files. And similarly, day three, let us say, third day I came to office, I started working on another file. Escape file. And I also modified F1. Let's say I opened F1. Sorry. Okay. Third day I have added another line, let's say line number 3. Save it and exit. And third day, I also touched upon second file as well, let's say. Let's say in second file, third day, I have added another line. What I have done? Third, I created another new file. I also modified already existing 2 files. Whenever you do this, again, you have to say git add. Whenever we have multiple files, you don't need to say every time git add F1, git add F2. There is another shortcut. You can say git add space dot. Dot means all the files it will add to the Git server at one shot. If you have multiple files, you don't need to say git add F1, F2, F3 every time. Just execute, just say git add space dot. The meaning is it will add all the files at once. Okay, you see, done. Then say git status. See now, all the 3 files are added, but not committed. It is saying, but this is not committed. So please commit it. You understood? So let me copy this. సింపుల్ ఓకే సింపుల్ సో అన్ని ఫైల్స్ ఒకేసారి మీరు యాడ్ చేయాలంటే స్పేస్ డాట్ యూజ్ చేయండి అంతకంటే ఏం లేదు గిట్ స్టేటస్ యూజ్ చేశాను బట్ ఇంకా కమిట్ చేయలే అండ్ అనదర్ రీజన్ ఇస్ ట్రై టు అండర్స్టాండ్ whenever now with this process till now the files I created and added once I add these files it will be in somewhere like staging directory. Okay, so let me draw this. You'll understand. So let's say this is a git server. Okay, git server. This is a git. Okay, so within git let us say there is a repository. Within git there is a repository. Again within repository there will be 3 stages. This is the git repository. Within git repository whatever files we created will be in the local directory. Then in between there will be staging directory. Then after that we'll be having a persistent storage. You understood? There will be 3 stages. For example, let's say this is local, something like local. Okay, something like local. Whatever files we have added so far it will be here. Next files, right? After local files, the moment you say git add, the files will got added to staging directory, staging area, something known as staging area, right? Now after git add our files will be there in staging area. Then we have to move these files to the move these files to persistent storage, which it means permanently we have to store in permanent memory. There will be 2 stages within git repository. Logically mana kanipincho, but logically this is what happens. Try to understand. Whatever files we created, after you say git add, they goes to staging area. Then from staging area we have to push to persistent storage. Unless until you push to persistent storage, no, those files are not like they are in git server. You understood? To make these files to be accessed by other developers as well, because every day other developers also they will check in, check out the code. Whenever they check out the code, they should be able to get our files as well. For that, every developer, once they create file, they will be sending to staging area. From staging area, the files has to be logically moved to persistent storage. Then only I can say your files are permanently stored in the git repository. Otherwise, till then, they will be in staging area only. So now our files in staging area. Let's see how to push these files into persistent storage. You understood? Yep. So to push our files to persistent storage, we have another command which this is compulsory. Unless we execute files from, right? So temporary storage to persistent storage, your files will not be recognized by your git server. or cannot be accessed by other people. For that, only one command you have to execute. Just say git commit -a -m. You understood? Yeah. So for that, we need to execute another command to push our files from staging area to persistent storage. The command is git commit -a. -a means I'm telling push all the files. -a -a. I think we can also give at a time. You can also give this way, nothing wrong, but make a habit of anything is okay. Git commit -a -m. -m is we are committing how to push files from staging area to persistent storage by committing. We have to execute git commit command. So git commit -a means push all the files. -m. -m means provide some comment. So every time we commit, why we are committing, it's good to give some comment. So I will say my comment is this comment you can write whatever you want. So I added 3 files. But try to give this comment a meaningful name. So git commit is the command to push your files from staging area to persistent storage. But whenever you are committing, it is good to provide one command with -m option. -m is for to provide some command. This command you can write whatever you want, but try to give some meaningful command. Why we created? Because in future, let's say in a span of 6 months, we'll be committing a lot of files, many times. So let's say 800 times you have committed. But in future, if you want to go back and see the status of today, ఈ రోజు మన ఫైల్స్ ఎందుకు కమిట్ చేసాం, ఏ ఫైల్స్ మనం చూడాలి అంటే this comment should help you. In future, if you want to go back and see, understand why you have committed these files, by reading this comment, you should be able to understand. అందుకోసం ఈ కమెంట్ ఎలా ఉండాలంటే అసలు what is the reason you committed? That meaning should come here. Let's say you have committed these files for web server or for testing purpose. Then you have to say, for testing purpose, I have committed. For testing purpose, I have added these 2 files. You write whatever you want, nothing wrong. మీరు elaborate గా రాసుకోవచ్చు. But now I am giving simple comment. I am saying I added 3 files. That's the comment I am providing. You understood? So just say this. The moment I say this, it is saying created file 1, file 2, file 3. Now it created references for these files. Now you say git status. See what it is saying? Once I execute git status command, it is saying you are on master, nothing to commit, everything is clean. మన commit చేయకముందు అది ఏమి ఇచ్చిందండి? It has given something like, boss, this is not committed. You have added the files. You have added the files, but not committed. Please commit. Do the initial commit. Okay. These are the changes that needs to be committed. Not yet committed, but there are some files you need to commit. It is saying you have to commit finally. So now once I did commit, so when I say git, right, it is saying everything is clean. Everything is clean. Everything is clean. Nothing to commit. Done. This is what the procedure is. Every day, as a developer, create some files, enter some lines of code, add to the Git server, right? See the status, then you commit it. Unless we commit, these changes will not be committed to the persistent storage. Persistent means permanent. These changes will not be committed to the persistent storage. You understood, everyone? Yep. Finally, the files has to go to the persistent storage, permanent storage. That is the idea. So let's say this is the diagram. When I copy these commands, so what I said, I'm committing. Once we commit, everything is clean. Then say git status. So it is saying, boss, everything is now good. This is what you have to do every day. You understood? For every file you create, every day you have to do, you have to execute these commands and send it to Yeah. Persistent storage. Now, once you commit at any point of time, now you see git log, it will display some information. See? But until you commit, it hadn't shown any information. But once you commit, the moment you say git log, this is the information we have got. Git log means at any point of time, we can see the log information. అది ఏం చేసింది ఎలా ఉంది. So some kind of detailed log information we can see by executing this command. Okay. So this is the output display. Try to understand this. It is saying, boss, this is the committed. You have committed, done, good. The above files are committed, good. And for every commit we do, it will provide one unique commit ID. For every commit we do, whenever you commit any changes, it will create one unique commit ID. So this is the commit ID for the commit what I have done now. Using this commit ID only, we're going to go back. So let's say, okay. So what I will do is, I have committed this. Next, another fourth day. Fourth day, I will go to office. I will create another file. Fourth day, till now I have done only one commit, guys. So I'm making a note of it. Let's say this is my commit ID. This is my commit ID. Let me make a note. So I'm copying here. This is my first commit ID. Okay. And then you have to say, fourth day, I go to office, I'll create another file, F4, escape file. Okay. Save it and exit. And I also modified F1. Let's say this is the fourth day code. Okay. That's LM4. I also, let's say, open F2. Let's say this is fourth day I modified other files as well. VAFT. Because we don't know which files developer will going to modify every day. So let's say fourth day, he not only created F4, fourth file, he also modified all the files. Now I modified all the files. Now you tell me what I have to do. Whenever you modify any files, immediately you have to say git add space dot, then all the files will be added. Then say git status, see the git status. So it is saying this is the status, boss, you have to commit. Then you say git commit. -A. -A means commit all the files. -A option is for all. Then say -M. Then give some comment. Then say added F4 today. And modified F1 to F3. That's it. So this is what I have done today. So give some comment. Then say done. All right. So committed. It means it is in persistent storage. Now you say git log. What it is saying? Whenever I say git log, whatever commits I did today, it is giving all the commits. So you see here, let me copy in your notes. Once you try to understand this, on fourth day, I have done another commit. Fourth day, I have done another commit. All right. This is the second latest commit, guys. Right? This is the latest commit. This is the first commit. So this is the first commit. Whenever you commit, it will create one commit ID. This is the first commit. Second day, this is the comment I provided. This is the comment I provided, right? And I committed again. This is the second commit related ID. I have done two commits. This is the first commit comment. This is the first commit, second comment. When I committed, every time I commit, it will create one unique commit ID. This is the first commit ID, second commit ID. You understood? Yeah, everyone. Okay. Same thing. Fifth day, I went to office again. I created another file. Let's say F5. Let's say fifth day, I haven't modified any files, but only one file I created. I haven't modified any files. I created just a brand new file. That's it. So immediately what I have to say, git add dot. Then say git status. It is saying, boss, you have to commit. Then I have to say git commit -a -m. Then just say added F5. That's it. Then say git log. See now how many? When I say git log, I have got total 3 commits now. I'll be getting another commit. So this is the same procedure. For every file you create, you have to do the same procedure. Some 4 or 5 commands every day you have to execute for every file. So this is first commit ID, in second commit ID, third commit ID. You understood? How many times I committed? 5 days. In a 5 days, I have committed 3 times. In a 5 days, I have committed 3 days. Now, what is the latest code? Where are you? If I see status of my Git, I have 5 files. And these are the files on 5th day I have. So likewise, you keep on working for 1 month or 2 months. Now, suddenly after 1 month or after 5 days, let's say you want to go back and see what is the status of your files on 2nd day or 3rd day. In 5th day, మనం చేసిన 3 commits చేసాం. Third day is our first commit. So 3rd day మనం ఏదైతే commit చేసాం, first commit ఏదైతే ఉందో అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి మీరు చూడాలి. Then the command is, you understood? Now git -reset, git reset -hard. Git reset -hard, give the commit ID. Now we are going to see actual functionality of Git. What is the actual functionality of Git? It has to maintain అసలు అది ట్రాకింగ్ మన గిట్ యాడ్ అని ఇచ్చాం కదండి, అసలు అది మన ఫైల్స్ ట్రాక్ చేస్తుందా లేదా? ట్రాక్ చేస్తుంది అంటే ఇన్ ఫ్యూచర్ ఇఫ్ ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ మై గిట్, హే గిట్, ఐ వాంట్ టు గో బ్యాక్ టు ద ఫస్ట్ కమిట్ ఆర్ సెకండ్ కమిట్ ఆర్ థర్డ్ కమిట్, సో అండ్ సో డేట్, సో అండ్ సో టైం, నేను కమిట్ చేసిన ఆ ప్రీవియస్ వర్షన్కి వెళ్ళాలి. Please, can you give it? You should be able to give it. Shall we check that? Yeah. For that, you say git, right? Reset -hard. Now I am on 5th day. These are my files. Let us try to go to the first commit. This is the first commit, right? Copy this commit ID. Then say here. It means now I want to go back to the first commit. First commit means only ఈ 3 files మాత్రమే ఉండాలి. Yes or no? Then say ls. ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయండి? ఉన్నాయా లేవా? And you open this cat, you see cat F3. F3 లేవు, ఒక లైనే ఉంది. అంటే but whatever you say, see here, you understood? Whenever I say I have entered some few lines on day 4. 4th day, 5th day also entered some lines here. But what is the status it is showing? It is showing the status of first commit లో ఏదైతే ఉందో చూపిస్తుంది. లైన్ 4 కూడా యాడ్ చేశాక నేను లైన్ 4, లైన్ 5 కూడా యాడ్ చేశా, ఉన్నాయా? And similarly check the status of F1. How many lines are there? Only these lines. Line 3. Line 4, line 5 do we have? You understood? So I'm able to go back to the first commit, that is on 3rd day, and by executing this command, it is showing whatever the status of your repository during that day. It is showing only those files. It is not showing F4 and F5. Not only F4 and F5, even the content in these files. the status of content in these files will be, it will show only whatever there on that particular day. It will not show the lines which we added on the later days. You understood this? Ardhamainda? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Very simple. Yeah. So what is the commit to go back to any previous version of the code? Git reset -- hard. Just give this command and give the, which state and which day you want to go, which state you want, which commit you want to go. Just give the commit ID. It will take you automatically. It will take you to that state. Automatically, it will take you to that state. Okay. Then say ls cat. So this is a state. This is a state. You understood? So now, because on 5th day, if you see, this is the first day line, second day line, third day line. On 4th day, I have added another line. On 5th day, of course, on 5th day, I haven't added any lines. Okay. But a 4th day line is missing because this is the status of 3rd day. First commit ID done after 3 days. So this is the status. 4th line is not there. Shall we try to go to 4th day now to see in F1? In F1, on 4th day, I made another line entry. And on a 4th day, we supposed to have 4 files, not 3 files. So shall we try go back to, right, whatever we did on 4th day? Yeah. So what is the command? Git reset -- hard, right? So give the 4th day commit ID. What is the 4th day commit ID? Yeah, this is the one. Okay. So give this ID. Then say ls. See here, 4 files వచ్చినాయా లేదా? Then when I say cat F1, it will show the status of F1 on 4th day. You see, how many lines are there? 4 lines. Earlier, only 3 lines. This is a status of my file F1 on 4th day. So you modify. Similarly, let me see the status of my F2. This is the status. With this, it is clear that Git is automatically maintaining different versions of every file in this repository. You work for 1 month, and any point of time, if you want to go back to any previous version of the code, just say reset and commit ID. It will directly take you to that state of the file, state of the repository. We don't need to spend a lot of time in maintaining, creating these versions and tracking. Now Git is taking care. For Git to take care of this tracking, you only have to provide little bit of information at the beginning, like git add and git config -- global or 3 commands execute చేస్తే సరిపోదు. You keep on working on any number of files. Any files అయినా వర్క్ చేస్తూ వెళ్ళండి. ఆటోమేటిక్గా గిట్ మీరు వర్క్ చేసే ఫైల్స్ అని కూడా whenever you modify whenever you add 1 line or 2 lines, you modify any files or any number of files, so it will maintain the track. And whenever you try to go back to that particular day version of the code, ఆ రోజు ప్రతి ఫైల్ యొక్క స్టేట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అది మాత్రమే చూపిస్తుంది. You understood this? Hence,
Yes, sir.
this is how Git is called as a version control tool. Everyone understood? Yeah? Everyone you
Yes,
understood?
sir.
Very good.
Yes.
So, that is one part. Now, let's try to understand what is branching concepts. I said there is a branching. Till here clear? So after this session, you try to practice. So next concept is, there is very important concept of branches. Let's try to understand what is branches. Okay. So let me take this example. All right. Let's say this is a diagram. Let me copy first here. All right. So what I have done here, to better understand what is a branching concept in Git, try to follow. Okay. There is a branching concept in Git, very powerful. And we also have seen in previous commands, it is saying, Boster, you are on master branch. So what is master branch? What are child branches? When we create these branches, what is this branching concept? Let's try to understand. For that, let's say this is my Git server. Inside this Git server, I have multiple repositories. Each repository for one project. Let's say server one. As I installed Git in my server one will be my Git server. After that, I created multiple repositories, one repository for each project. ABC for ABC project. This is one repository, another repository, another repository. Because we know that in a Git server, we can maintain repositories for multiple projects. Let's say currently, let's assume our project now, our current project is ABC. This is our repository. So for that, initially, whatever files we created now, F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, all the files belongs to, let's say, ABC repository. Let's assume this is our repository. So whatever files we create every day, by default, all the files will be in master branch. This is the branch. By default, all the files will be in master branch. This is the actual code. Usually in real time, master branch notion, no one should touch. Real time no, ఈ మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్ ని యూజువల్లీ టచ్ చేయరు. సో అందుకోసం ఏం చేయాలంటే, లెట్స్ సే, of course, your master branch will contain all the files of the coding. And how many developers every day, every developer, once they write code, they will go to check in, they'll go to commit all the files, source code files in repository, and those files by default will be in the master branch. Why child branch is required, try to understand. Let's say one of the developer is started working on new feature. One of the developers started working on new feature. So whenever we try to work on a new feature, the rule is don't try to work directly on the master branch, because as you are doing some experiment, as your files are not yet proven, if you try to work directly on master branch, in master branch, not only our files, all the developers files are checking in here, all the developers files are committed here. So whenever we try to work directly on master branch, unknowingly or by mistake, we might disturb other developers files as well. సో ఈ మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్ లో మనమే కాదు, మనలాంటి ఈ ప్రాజెక్ట్ సంబంధించిన 20 డెవలపర్స్ కూడా దీనిపైన వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారు. కాబట్టి ఎవరైనా సరే మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్ లో డైరెక్ట్ వర్క్ చేస్తే వేరే డెవలపర్స్ వాళ్ళ ఫైల్స్ కూడా డిస్టర్బ్ చేసే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది. కాబట్టి యూజువల్లీ మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్ అనేది ఫైనల్ యాక్చువల్ సోర్స్ కోడ్, ఫైనల్ గా అప్లికేషన్ సంబంధించిన యాక్చువల్ కోడ్ ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది. కాబట్టి don't never try to work in master branch. If at all there is a new requirement, what you have to do, let's say you are one of the developer, you are working on some other requirement. ఒక రిక్వైర్మెంట్ గురించి మీరు ఇప్పుడే స్టార్ట్ చేశారు వర్క్ చేయడం. ఫస్ట్ డేలోనే మీరు మీ లాజిక్ అంతా ఫైనలైజ్ అవుదా? ఫస్ట్ డేలోనే మీరు అంతా థింక్ చేయలేరు. సో హెన్స్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు డూ సమ్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్. మీరు ఒక ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ చేసి ఆ కొన్ని ఫైల్స్ రాసి టెస్ట్ చేసి ఆ ఫైల్స్ బాగున్నాయి, కరెక్ట్గా ఉన్నాయి అంటే then only you come and check in master branch. So till then what you do is, if you want to do, just now you started working on some requirement, it means you have to prove those files. మీరు ఇంకా ఫైల్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి, ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేశారు ఒక న్యూ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ పైన. ఆ ఫైల్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి, కరెక్ట్ వర్క్ అవుతున్నాయి లేదు చెక్ చేయాలి, టెస్ట్ చేయాలి. సక్సెస్ఫుల్ గా ప్రూవ్ అయితే then come and put it in master branch. Till then what you do is, you create one child branch. You take some little bit of deviation. And try to create another branch which we call it as a child branch. ఒక చైల్డ్ బ్రాంచ్ ఈ విధంగా క్రియేట్ చేసి Let us name this branch as a testing branch, testing child branch. Whenever we create a child branch, the entire repository, one copy of this repository will come here. మనం ఎప్పుడైతే రైట్ ఎప్పుడైతే చైల్డ్ బ్రాంచ్ క్రియేట్ చేసామో మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్కి, అప్పటి వరకు ఉన్నటువంటి ఈ మాస్టర్ రెపాజిటరీలో ఏదైతే ఉందో ఎంటైర్ ఒక కాపీ ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేస్తుంది. అంటే దీనిలో ఉన్న ఫైల్స్ అని ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేస్తాయి. దెన్ యూ స్టార్ట్ వర్కింగ్ హియర్. ఇక్కడ దెన్ యూ స్టార్ట్ వర్కింగ్ హియర్. యూ వర్క్ ఫర్ 1 day 2 day or 1 week. యూ డూ యువర్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్, యూ డూ యువర్ ట్రయల్స్, దెన్ ట్రై టు టెస్ట్ ఇట్. మీరు కోడ్ ఏం రాస్తారా, న్యూ ఫీచర్ రిలేటెడ్ అన్ని ఇక్కడ చేసుకోండి, ఇక్కడ చేయండి. సో వన్స్ యూ డూ ఇట్ హియర్, you test it, once you prove it, and if you feel that, or someone will go to review your code as well. If everything is working fine here, if everything is successful, then only commit these files here, otherwise don't commit. You understood? Likewise, every developer has to do. ప్రతి డెవలపర్ కూడా ఇలానే చేయాలి. డైరెక్ట్గా మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్లో వర్క్ చేయకూడదు. ఒక చైల్డ్ బ్రాంచ్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకొని చైల్డ్ బ్రాంచ్లో ఈ రిపాజిటరీ ఒక కాపీ వస్తుంది, ఇక్కడ వర్క్ చేసుకోవాలి. మీరు ఇక్కడ అప్రూవ్ అయిన ఫైల్సే ఇక్కడ అంటే సీనియర్ పీపుల్ రివ్యూ చేస్తారు. రివ్యూ చేసినప్పుడు ఎస్ దీస్ ఫైల్స్ ఆర్ గుడ్ టు చెక్ ఇన్ మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్, వాళ్ళు గ్రీన్ సిగ్నల్ ఇస్తారు. దెన్ ఓన్లీ వీ హ్యావ్ టు పుష్ దీస్ ఫైల్స్ ఇన్ టు యువర్ మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్. యూ అండర్స్టూడ్? ఈజ్ ఇట్ రిక్వైర్డ్ ఆర్ నాట్ రిక్వైర్డ్? Because on master branch, not one developer, all the 20 developers are checking in the same master branch. This is the original repository. We shouldn't disturb the original master repository. Whoever wants to work, you have to create a child branch, work here, prove it. Once successful, then only commit here. Otherwise, don't touch this. Similarly, let us say there is another repository. Ikkada kuda ante. So child master ke child branches create cheskoni prati project vallu ilane cheyali. Do your experiment here. Once proved, then only check in master branch. So end of the 1 year or 2 years project అయిపోయింది. సో లాస్ట్కి వచ్చేసరికి మీ యాక్చువల్ వర్కింగ్ కోడ్, సక్సెస్ఫుల్గా వర్క్ అయ్యే కోడ్ రిలేటెడ్ ఫైల్స్ అన్ని కూడా ఎక్కడ ఉంటాయి? మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్లో ఉంటాయి. ఈ ఒరిజినల్ రెపాజిటరీ ఏదైతే ఉందో మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్లో ఫైనల్గా సక్సెస్ఫుల్గా వర్క్ అయ్యే కోడ్ అంతా కూడా ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది. అండ్ దిస్ ఈస్ ద కోడ్ విచ్ వీ విల్ టేక్, విల్ కంపైల్ ఇట్, విల్ క్రియేట్ వార్ ఫైల్. This is the final source code which we will take, we'll compile it, we'll create war file and deploy onto environments. You understood now? Yep. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That's what I have written here. This diagram. Now let us try to understand how to practically do this. So practically, how to create branches, how to deal with the branches. Now let's try to understand. Okay. What is that? Did I remove something here? Let's know. To create a new branch, there are a set of commands. Okay, set of commands. To create a new branch, just say git branch. Okay. To create any new branch, let's say you want to create a new branch, then just say git branch. So let us try to work this. Currently, now I am the master branch. How to know on which branch at any point of time? If you want to know on which branch you are working on, just say git status. It will show you. There is that. Sorry. Right? The moment I say git status, it is showing I am on which branch? Master. By default, By default, everyone we will be on master branch until unless you switch to another branch. Now for my repository, as of now, I haven't created any child branches. I have only one branch, master branch. So currently I am on master branch. Now, how to create a child branch for this? Git branch, let's say test one. Let's say I want to create one child branch with the name testing. I want to do some testing. I want to write some new files, and those files I want to experiment. I want to test it. Once approved, then I will come and merge. So I have to say git branch test. You understood? Now you say git status. How many branches are there now? Yeah, nothing to commit. Git branch -v. Let's say git branch -v. The moment I say git branch -v, it will show you how many branches are there and currently on which branch you are. So currently, whatever star mark indicates, it means I am currently on that branch. I have two branches now, test one, master. Because above I created one child branch, test one. Then the command is git branch -v. If you say git branch -v, show you the information about your branches. There are two branches, and wherever star is there, it means currently you are on that branch. Clear? How to create a branch? Very simple. Just execute only one command, git branch, and your branch name. Just as a git branch, let us say this is my child branch. You give test one, test two, or branch one, branch two, whatever it may be. Just say git branch name. It will create a new branch for you. So then immediately you say, right, git branch -v. It will show you how many branches are there currently, and currently you are in which branch. I have two branches, but currently it is showing, boss, you are on master branch. The star indicates you are on currently which branch. You understood? Yeah. So now to switch to, let's say I want to switch from master branch to test one. I have to say git checkout test one. So wrong. Okay, sorry. Git checkout, let's say test one. You see, the moment I say git checkout is the command to switch from one branch to another branch. Git checkout test one, switch to right. Now you see git -v, git branch -v. So now currently, as I switched from master to test one using this command, now it is saying star, where is the star now? It means currently we are in test one. Now you say ls, మనకు అన్ని ఫైల్స్ ఉన్నాయా లేవా? అంటే అంటే నేను F4 దగ్గర ఉండి నేను స్విచ్ చేయాలి. సో హెన్స్ ఐ హ్యావ్ ఆల్ ది 4 ఫైల్స్. యూ అండర్స్టూడ్? బీయింగ్ అంటే నేను ప్రీవియస్ మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్ లో నేను F4 ఆ పర్టికులర్ స్టేట్ లో ఉండి నేను స్విచ్ చేయాలి, క్రియేట్ చేశాను. సో ఇట్ మీన్స్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ద మీరు ఏ స్టేట్ లో ఉండి ఇది క్రియేట్ చేశారో ఆ ఫైల్స్ అనేది ఇందులోకి వెళ్తాయి. సో ఐ హ్యావ్ 4 ఫైల్స్. All the files, whatever there. You understood this? Yeah? And let me go to 5th day. How to go to last commit? Let's see whatever files we have. How to switch to git reset -hard. Give this, then say ls. How many files are there? Now I actually went to 5th day. Then say git branch -v. Now how many files are there? I went to 5th day, because the same whatever master copy is having, all one copy will be there here as well. If you go to 5th day state, 4th day state. But all the files that are there in master copy, one copy will exist in child branch as well as it is. You understood this point? Yep. అర్థమైందా?
Yes, sir.
So this is the command. But how to go back to any previous version? Using -git reset -hard command. Once we go, the same command applies for master branch or child branches. What is the command to switch to any branch? How to know the status? Where are you? Branch. How to switch to any branch? Check out. Did I copy that? No. Let's say this is the command. At any point of time, if you want to check out, say this is the command. After you create branch, then here comes any point of time. If you want to check out to a particular branch, you have to say git checkout, and to which branch you want to switch. Switched. Now I am on child branch, test one. Test one. So what is the state of my child branch now? How many files I have? How many files I have? Because I'm on 50-day status, right? 50-day status. So I'll be having, these are the files. You understood? One copy will be there in master branch and another copy will be there in child branch. So don't disturb the master copy. Whatever you want, you try to work in only child branch. So now currently I'm on child branch. So I will start experiment here. It means as part of my experiment, on top of whatever, because whenever you want to do some experiment, మీరు ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ రిలేటెడ్ చూస్తున్నారు కాబట్టి ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఫైల్స్ అన్ని ఉండాలి. On top of that only, usually we'll write new code. Yes or no? Whenever there is application, let us say Gmail and application development జరుగుతూ ఉంది. సో ఫిఫ్త్ డే ఒక 4 features బిల్డ్ చేశారు. 4 features బిల్డ్ చేశారు ఫిఫ్త్ డే. ఆర్ ఫోర్త్ డే 4 features బిల్డ్ చేశారు. ఫిఫ్త్ డే, if you want to build fifth feature, it should be on top of already existing 4 features. Yes or no? 4 days 4 features బిల్డ్ చేశారు. నెక్స్ట్ డే ఫిఫ్త్ ఫీచర్ బిల్డ్ చేయాలంటే ఇట్ షుడ్ బి ఆన్ టాప్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్రెడీ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ 4 ఫీచర్ ఏవైతే కంప్లీట్ అయినాయో
Yes,
ఆ
sir.
కోడ్ అంతా ఉండాలి. దానిపైన న్యూ ఫీచర్స్ బిల్డ్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళాలి. అగైన్ 10th డే 10 features ఫిల్డ్. 11th డే 11th feature if you want to build. సో ఆ 10 days అప్పటి వరకు ఏదైతే డెవలప్ అయినా ఆ కోడ్ మొత్తం ఉండాలి. On top of that, usually we write some new code, but of course related to 11th feature. But to implement code for 11th feature, all the previous 10 days code should exist. On top of every day, this is the basic point. Every day developer, they will check in whatever the latest code is there in repository, they will check out that code. On top of that, they will start writing new code. This is what happens every day with the development. You understood? And it is required also. Whatever new code we write should be on top of already existing old code. This is a rule. Yeah, and it is required also. You understood? So let's say now I am child branch. The state of my repositories, I have 5 files. I'm on child branch. I want to create some files and I want to do some experiment. Yeah, I will create another file as part of my, let's say, f2.test. Let's say my file name is test. I want to create one file. So let me open it. Escape file. Let us say this is my testing line of code on in file 6. Let's see. I have written one file. This is the new file I have created. I created this file on test branch, not at pushed onto master. I just created. So I have created one file. You understood? So let me copy this. Started testing. As part of my testing, I have created a new file. Total I have how many files? These are old files already existing. One new file I created. This is my new file. Then the same story. Immediately once you create any new file, what you have to do? You have to tell to Git. So Git, please track my files. How to do that? Git add dot. Then immediately we have to commit as well to push this file into persistent storage. For that, what is the command? Git commit -a -m provide one comment. Added F6. F6. That's it. Done it. Then see the Git status. Say, sorry. Status. Now it is saying, boss, everything is clean. You have pushed everything. You understood? So I write this things here. So this is what I have done. Next, I created one new file. Yeah. So I think I have written above. So after I create another new file in my child branch, I said git add. As usual, we have to add the, otherwise it will not track. Git will not track this file. Whenever you create a new file, you have to add to the Git. Then give some comment. Give some comment. Then it is saying, yeah, it is committed. It is committed. You understood? Yeah? Clear? You clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So then once, let's say, you will be keep on working on your child branch. Okay. You work for 1 day or 2 days, let's say, or 1 week. Let's say you create first day, as part of our experiment, you have created one file. Second day, you create another file. You work for 1 week or 10 days. You do your experiment here. You do your testing here on child branch. Once these files are successful, once you have to test this code. ఒకసారి ఇక్కడ రాసిన తర్వాత మీరు టెస్ట్ చేయాలి. టెస్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ వర్కింగ్ ఫైన్, దెన్ మీ సీనియర్స్ రివ్యూ చేస్తారు. రివ్యూ చేసినప్పుడు బాగానే ఉంది, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ వర్కింగ్ ఫైన్, then they will give green signal. Yes, boss, you can push to master branch now. Because if you feel that these files, whatever you created, might be useful to other developers as well, then you have to place these files in master branch. Master branch లో పెడితేనే వేరే డెవలపర్స్ చెక్అవుట్ చేసుకున్నప్పుడు మీ ఫైల్స్ కూడా వెళ్తాయి. మీ ఫైల్స్ వేరే వాళ్ళకి కూడా కావాలి. దీస్ ఫైల్స్ ఆర్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రాజెక్ట్ which are required for other developers also. Then once these files are proved, successfully tested, you have to merge these files into where? Your master branch. But until you test it, until someone reviews it, you should not merge. You understood? Yeah. Now let's say my testing is done and my seniors also verified it is working fine. Then they have given green signal to merge my new files into master branch. How to do that? You see, now, as of now, git branch -v. Where I'm on, currently I'm on test branch. Now I have to merge my new files. I have to switch to master. You have to be on destination, then only merge. మనం ఈ టెస్ట్ 1 అనే ఫైల్స్ దీనిలోకి మర్జ్ చేయాలి అంటే మనం దేనిలోకి అయితే మర్జ్ చేయాలో దానిలోకి స్విచ్ అవ్వాలి. ఫస్ట్ స్విచ్ అయ్యి you have to execute a merge command from being here, not here. Try to understand. So that's why I will say git checkout. Let's say I want to check out to master. Then let me see. I'm currently in master. Then test నుంచి master కి switch చేయండి. Switch అయ్యి here you have to execute your merge command. You understood? So let's just say git merge testing. Then all your files will go and merge in master branch. Shall we say this? Git merge. What is that? Say your, from which branch? From which branch you want to merge files to master branch, you have to say git merge, then child branch. That's it. So from where I'm executing this command is important. I have to execute this command being in destination branch. మీరు ఏ బ్రాంచ్ లో అయితే మర్జ్ చేయాలనుకున్నారో ఆ బ్రాంచ్ లోకి వెళ్ళి ఈ కమాండ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ చేయాలి. దెన్ సే now all the files are merged. You see, now we try to execute git branch -v. I am on a master branch and say ls. So ఈ ఫైల్ వచ్చిందా లేదా మాస్టర్ లోకి? అర్థమైందా? You understood now? Now from child branch I am able to merge just by using this command. All my files in test1 automatically got merged to master. Now I am currently on master. My F6 has merged to master. Now it is there in master branch as well. You understood? Yep. Let me
Yes,
copy
sir.
this. Let me copy these lines. These are the sequence of steps I did. You try to do as it is. I will share today's video. Don't worry. Go through it clearly. Just go through it once or twice. Neat ga cheyandi. Okay. Yeah. So I repeat again, this is what I have done. So I created some files. Being in child branch, I created one file, F6. Then to merge, I have to check out to master. Master lo check out ayyanu. Then here I executed a git merge command. The moment I execute the merge command, automatically my files, whatever they are in test1, will get merged to master one. How to check that? Again, say just ls. Say my F6 has now, F6.test has now merged to my master branch. So simple. Okay, understood? So next, see, if you want to delete, there is another command, right? So let's say after you worked for some time, కొంతవరకు మీరు వర్క్ చేశారు. If you assume once if you feel that this branch is no more required, child branch ఏదో ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ చేశారు, వర్క్ అయింది, ఆ ఫైల్స్ ఇక్కడ మర్జ్ చేశారు. Next, immediately, if you don't want this branch, you can delete this branch. That is possible. మీకు అవసరం ఉంటే అలా పెట్టుకోండి. అదర్వైజ్ దీనివల్ల పెద్ద ఇంకా పని లేదనుకుంటే దాన్ని డిలీట్ చేయొచ్చు. హౌ టు డిలీట్ ఎనీ బ్రాంచ్? జస్ట్ సే git branch -d. -d is the option to delete. -d is the option to delete. Which branch you want to delete? Okay. So to delete, I don't want to execute that, but just say git command is git which branch. Branch -d. Just say test1. That's it. This command will delete a branch for you. If you don't want, you can. So likewise, as a practice, try to create multiple branches. Nothing wrong. నేను test1 ఒకటి క్రియేట్ చేశాను, మీరు test2, test3 ఎన్ని బ్రాంచ్లైనా క్రియేట్ చేయొచ్చు. క్రియేట్ చేసి కొన్ని బ్రాంచ్లు డిలీట్ కూడా చేయొచ్చు. డిలీట్ చేయడానికి ఈ కమాండ్ వాడండి. ఓకే, బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ డూ దిస్, దట్ బ్రాంచ్ విల్ గో అప్. సో బీ కాషియస్. సో రియల్ టైం ఇది వాడేటప్పుడు కొద్దిగా జాగ్రత్తగా ఉండాలి. 100% if you are sure that you want to delete it. Otherwise, once you delete it, you cannot return back. You understood? Yep. So కొన్నిసార్లు యాజ్ ఏ గిట్ అడ్మిన్, మీరు ఆ రిపాజిటరీస్ క్లీన్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. అప్పుడు అన్వాంటెడ్ బ్రాంచెస్ ఏవో డెవలపర్స్ ఇస్తారు. మేబీ యాజ్ ఏ అడ్మిన్ యూ కెన్ క్లీన్. దిస్ ఈస్ ద వే హౌ టు డిలీట్ అండ్ క్లీన్ unwanted branches. So simple. Now let us move on to another concept. The concept name is tags. Tags అక్కడ చూసినట్టును అక్కడ వచ్చింది Ansible లో వచ్చిందా ట్యాగ్స్ అని?
Yes, sir. వచ్చింది. అది
Yeah. Same thing here also. Tags means some kind of alias name. That's it, right? Tag means some kind of alias name.
సార్
Okay. Yeah.
బ్రాంచెస్ క్రియేట్ చేయడానికి -v,
Yeah.
డిలీట్ చేయడానికి -d అంతేనా? ఇంకేమైనా
No,
డిఫరెన్స్?
-v is just to see the information. What are the branches?
ఓకే. హౌ వి ఒకసారి అది బ్రాంచ్ క్రియేషన్ ఒకసారి చూపించరా? కామెంట్.
Just branch creation is just say git branch. That's it. If you want to create another branch, git branch test
బ్రాంచ్
2.
నేమ్.
That's it.
ఓకే.
Okay.
ఓకే.
Yeah.
Ah.
So next one is, let's try to understand what is a tags. The concept tags is very much required in real time. Tags are nothing but, as we already discussed in Ansible, just to give alias name, to create alias names. Alias names are nothing but tags, tag names. Tags are nothing but some other name, another name to the same entity. Yeah. Yeah. So all right. To create a tag for, let's say, git tag -v, you have to use this command. Let me show you this. Now I am currently in where? Git master branch. I have these files. And I know that I have 4 commits, right? Git log. So what is this? There are 3 files. There are some commits. How many commits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Total how many commits? Because we have done, so far we have done only how many commits? 4 commits. So let me copy these commits here. So in short, what I will do is, the idea of the purpose of tags is, whenever we have, because in a day, in a span of 6 months, let's say you have done a lot of commits. Every day ఒక 10 commits చేస్తూ ఉంటాము. సో ఆ విధంగా 6 months అయినసరికి 6 into 10. Okay. Let's say after 6 months, right, there will be around 6,000 or lot many commits you do. Whenever we have lot of commits, it is, and lot of commit IDs will be there. How do we go back to any previous version of the code till now we have seen? Using its commit ID. So ప్రతి commit కూడా commit ID ఉంటుంది. ఆ commit ID యూజ్ చేసి మనం using git reset hyphen command, use that commit ID to go back to that previous version of the commit. ఇక ఏ రోజు ఏ commit కి వెళ్ళాలంటే ఆ commit కి వెళ్ళాలి అంటే మనం ఇది వాడాలి. And it is not a good idea to remember these very lengthy commit IDs. ఇవి చాలా లెంగ్తీగా ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి ఈ commit IDs గుర్తుంచుకోవడం చాలా కష్టం. That's where there is a concept tags. Using tags concept, we create one shortcut name for this lengthy ID. ఈ commit ID ఏదైతే ఉందో దీనికి ఒక షార్ట్కట్, ఒక నేమ్ క్రియేట్ చేయబోతున్నాం. So that in future it is very easy to remember, which we call it as a tag name. I will create one tag name for this, some in English very short name, and it is easy to remember tag names rather very lengthy IDs. That's the idea of tags. Shall we start creating tags for our IDs? Then in future, if I want to go back to any previous version, I will use tag name instead of IDs. You understood? So before that, what I will do is, let me clear this. So git tag. The moment I say git tag, this command will display if already any existing tags are there. In my system, I have not created, I don't have any tags. That's why there are no tags displayed. Let us create one tag now. So how to create tag now? Git tag, give the -e option. You have to give -e option, then give what is the tag name for which ID. Shall we do this? Yeah. So let's say git tag -a I want to give, let's say first day version is V1. Whatever commit we did. So ఇక్కడ ఏదైతే కమిట్ ఉందో ఫస్ట్ కమిట్కి I'm assuming it is a version 1 of my code. So I'm just giving for this commit, first commit, I'm giving my tag name as version 1 space git tag, you have to say -a version 1 then tag name. That's it. Whenever you execute this command, it will open one editor. Okay, editor open chesi aa tag endu create chestunavo a comment ivvamantadi. It is good to provide one comment. So this is a file. Automatic of a VA editor open out there. Here it's good to provide one commit. Why you are creating this tag? So let's say try to write some lines here. This tag, creating this tag, right? So all right, creating this tag for my first commit. You give some comment, okay? Because in future it might be useful to you. Use some comment, save and exit. Then say git tag now. See how many tags are there now? I just created one tag for this commit. Now I say git tag, it displayed was there is one tag. You understood this? How to create tag? Very simple. Using git tag command. So using git tag -a, this is your tag name. This is your tag name. Okay. So give this name can be anything. And మీరు ఒక word, 2 words lengthy గా కూడా ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు, nothing wrong. I have given simple tag name. Tag names కూడా ఇంకా lengthy versions names ఇస్తే ఇంకా బాగోదుగా గుర్తు, because we should be able to remember. So that's your choice again. I have given version 1. Git tag -v version 1 for which commit. So similarly, let us try to create another tag, another alias name for another commit. Let me create a for second commit. For second commit, I want to create git tag -a. Let's say I will assume it's my version 2. Then space, copy and paste that ID. Then say this is my tag 2. You give some comment, save it and exit. Then say git tag. It will now it displayed 2 tags. Similarly, let us create another tag, git tag -a for another commit ID. So let's say third commit. Understood? See? So what is, I didn't give name. Okay, sorry. -a v3. I haven't given tag name. Okay. See, now how many tags are there? You understood? So I have created 3 tags. There are 3 commits and I have created 3 tags. Now it's now in future going forward, to go back to any previous version of my code, I no need to remember lengthy commit IDs because I have created tag names. So using these tag names, now we're going to see how to go back to previous version. You understood? Yeah. Now,
Yes, sir.
after creating a tag, git reset -hard. Earlier we used to give commit ID. Now instead of commit ID, you just mention your tag name. That's it. It is very easy, right? Rather than remembering and giving very lengthy IDs. And these names also you can give some meaningful names. Why you have done that commit? So let us say the one commit we have done for functional testing team. Another commit I have done for performance testing team. Another commit I have done for some other purpose. So we can give your tag name some meaningful names. It will be very, very helpful. And this is what we follow in real time. we won't use commit IDs. Immediately after commit IDs, we have to create a tag names. In real time, we will use only tag names to go to the previous versions. You understood? Now let us see. Now let us see using tag names how to go back to our previous versions. So now git status, right? This is the status. I have these files. So I have 6 files. Now I want to go back to, let us say, first day, first commit, git. What is the command? Git reset hyphen
Have
hard.
a hard.
Let's say
If-
v1. Then say ls. You see, first day, first commit వెళ్ళగలిగామా లేదా? Yeah. Then you say, let's say v2. Then we can come back to second day version. వచ్చామా లేదా? Then you say v3. If you say v3, you can come to third commit. You understood? Yeah. Now it's very easy. You commit it, no need to remember committed. This is the use of your commit tags. Clear? Simple concept. Yeah. So till here clear. Next we are going to create something known as bare repositories. Okay. Before that, I want to explain some explanation. It is called as a next very important is entirely a different concept within Git. Different concept. Git repository, we are going to, there are some, with the Git, there are some tools which are called as, right, centralized version tools, and some version control tools are called as distributed version control tools. You understood? Within version control tools, again, 2 types: centralized and distributed. Distributed and centralized. So I write this note here. All the version control tools categorized into 2 types. One is centralized version control tools. Another one is distributed version control tools. You understood? Total, how many version control tools are there? Already మనం లిస్ట్ అంత ముందు ఇచ్చాము. Git, GitHub, CVS, SVN, right? There are many tools. We have many ఇంటర్వ్యూలో అడిగితే చెప్పాలి కొన్ని టూల్స్. అంటే నాట్ ఓన్లీ గిట్, ఏమేమి ఉన్నాయండి మనకి? గిట్, గిట్హబ్, ఎస్విఎన్. మీ పైన ఆల్రెడీ లిస్ట్ లో నేను డిస్ప్లే చేసాము. బిగినింగ్ సెషన్స్ లో మనం ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ టూల్స్, వర్షన్ కంట్రోల్ టూల్స్, అక్కడ లిస్ట్ అంతా ఇచ్చాను. సో దేర్ ఆర్ మెనీ వర్షన్ కంట్రోల్ టూల్స్ లైక్ గిట్, గిట్హబ్, సివిఎస్, ఎస్విఎన్, etc. Okay. Among all these tools, Git comes under distributed version control tool, whereas other tools like CVS, right, these tools comes under centralized repository tools. The difference is, whenever I say the tools like CVS is not a distributed, it is a centralized repository tool. Similarly, SVN, etc. What happens is, in CVS, Let me discuss this Git first. Okay, in Git is called as a distributed. The meaning is one version of. Okay, I think let me come. You won't understand this now. Let me complete this part. I'll come back to this. Okay, but as of now, remember Git comes under distributed, and under centralized repository tools, there are some tools CVS, SVN. Why it is called as a distributed, why this is called as centralized, you will understand after a couple of concepts. Please hold on. Yeah. Next, put the heading bare repositories. Yeah. ఇక్కడ వరకు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తారా or shall I continue?
ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తాం సార్ ఇక్కడ వరకు.
Okay. In next class, another one class we can complete. It's done almost.
ఓకే.
Some 2-3 concepts. I think without practice, I think you might be confused. So practice till here. Maybe in next class we can complete Git. Okay. Is that okay?
ఓకే. ఓకే సార్.
Okay, sir.
All
Okay, sir.
right. So I will share today's video. Please
ఓకే.
go through it. Go through it and practice. Yeah. See you next class on Monday. Have a nice weekend.
థాంక్ యూ సార్. హావ్ ఎ నైస్ వీకెండ్.
Okay.
Too. Bye.